Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys, but like, I told myself I was gonna start this book, and I'm gonna like just really like just start it off, and then I would start this video and film some clips for you guys, but it didn't end up working that way. I ended up reading like majority of the freaking book and already tabbing and highlighting all my favorite parts. So I tried to capture what I could. So I'm sorry I didn't even talk about what I was reading with you guys. So that's what I'm doing right now. If you didn't see it, I started This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. As you can see, I already got some pen marks on her. I tried wiping it off and it won't come off, and I'm so like sad about it. Like, if y'all have any like tips or tricks to get like pen marks out of like a velvety cover, let me know, please. But yeah, I started This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and it's about this girl named Lucy. She plans a trip with her friend to have like a little girls trip to this place called Prince Edward Island, and apparently her friend grew up there and she wanted to take this trip to see, you know, where her friend grew up and really get to know her in that sense. But Lucy makes it there before her friend, and she meets this guy, and things get a little spicy. And you know, I love my spice. I wasn't anticipating any sort of spice in this book, but there's a lot of it and I'm loving it. So yeah, this book takes it's over the span of like a few summers, so like we're jumping back and forth between like the past and the present. So like starting off, she's in like her early 20s and the guy she meets is in his early 20s, and then in other parts they're in their mid-20s. But yeah, that guy actually turned out to be her friend's brother, and she didn't realize until like later on. And her friends, like, one of her main rule is like, don't fall in love with my brother. And of course things don't work out that way, and you know, you start like reading about it and getting to know these people, and I love it. It's so heartfelt, like it really is. Like, there was just so many moments where I'm just like, what the hell, who is this dude? Like, you're just pulling at my heartstrings. Like, I could cry thinking about it, but like, he's just such a treasure and probably one of my favorite characters, and I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, I'm having a fun time, and yeah, I don't want to say too much about the book, but like, please read it. I know I'm not giving you much to like go off of, but like, don't mind any of that. Just please go get the book. It's super fucking, like, I feel like I've known these people for like a few years now, and like we've all had these moments together, and you know, it's not only about love, but it's also about friendship, and those are the best kind of relationships in my opinion. And I definitely think it's worth reading about, and definitely like probably gonna be a new favorite summer read. I haven't read too many, I don't think. I think I've read like, oh no way, I've only read one summer read before this one. I read it last summer. It was Float by Kate Merchant, I think. But yeah, this is my second summer read like ever, and another favorite, definitely. I don't want to share any more of my thoughts until the end of the video. I'm gonna probably and go back and highlight some more parts and underline, and probably try to finish some more of this book. I probably won't finish it today because I gotta be a mom and stuff, but in case you're curious, I'm on page 232, and yeah, not much left. I got this much left of the book, so we're getting there, folks. there's a mention of Happy Place by Emily Henry in this book. Surprise, surprise. It just says, I chose Happy Place in May because the idea of Felix holding that bright pink book delighted me to no end, and because I could think of no happier place than Prince Edward Island. Like, my reading energy is just like shot. Like, I do this thing where it's like, it'll be too much for me to want to like highlight and underline, so I'll just like read like a bunch of fucking pages, and fucking like the next day I'll be like, God, I should really go back. And so I'll go back, underline, highlight, not even realizing that I read a lot the previous night, so I have a lot to get through. I'm so close to being caught up to my actual parts, but yeah, we're so close, guys. But like, I feel like I need coffee to be able to finish this. And I want to finish this book. I want to be able to read like 2 more summary books before summer ends, and that's the goal. That's the summer reading goal. I could read 2 more. That'd be cool. And yeah, we're not gonna get there if we don't finish this one. Hey guys, it's been a while. After my Florida trip, I got really sick, and I was sick for 2 weeks straight. Nothing serious. I just had bad sinus issues, and I was coughing a bunch. There was a time I was nauseous, so I kept throwing up. Not pregnant, by the way, but it was miserable. So I was like bedridden for 2 weeks. But in other news, Wyatt has started school today. So I finally will have more time to film for you guys, and maybe film some more book videos. So I really went full on summer mode with the books today. This summer. I wanted to like dive into summer reading, feel the summer vibes, get excited for summer. I wrote a whole list of all the summer books I wanted to try to read this summer. Fortunately, I didn't get to read all of them, but you know, there's always next summer. As you know, the first book I decided to pick up was This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This one not only explores like relationships, but it explores friendship, and I feel like friendship is like my favorite thing to read about in books, because like I don't really have many friends, so like I find my friends in books, and I felt like I've known these people because this takes place in the span of like a few years. So like at the beginning of the book, we're in our early 20s, and then like by the end of it, we're like in our late 20s. So we get to really follow these characters around for like a while, and it doesn't seem like it because the book is pretty short, which is why I picked her up. But I felt like I've read so much, and you know, so much has happened in here, and I feel like Carly Fortune really, like, her writing is so good. It was my first Carly Fortune book. I know she wrote Meet Me at the Lake and Every Summer After. I'd like to pick those up eventually if I have the time. You know, I'd probably want to read one more Carly Fortune book. But yeah, I really like this one. After reading the next one I'm going to talk about, I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but I did really enjoy myself reading this. I give it like a 4.5 or just a 4 stars. So she's close, she's up there. So I do recommend her. She was so much fun to read. There's a lot of spice in it though. So if you're not interested in spice, like spicy scenes, then this probably isn't the book for you. But you know, I love spice. I eat that shit up. So I was really enjoying myself. Have all my little tabbies. We really went into this one, guys. There was so many good scenes and so many good quotes. Her writing style was unmatched. I love it. I had so much fun reading this. So this one actually gave me the summer vibes I was looking for. I felt like I was actually on Prince Edward Island, vacationing and falling in love and being with friends. It was so much fun. This would have been really fun to read at the beach. So, you know. But yeah, she's highly rated in my book. I'd probably reread her in a year or two or whenever I'm feeling her, but I'm glad to say I own this. So much fun, had such a great time reading it. And even Annabelle Monaghan, another summer writer, said this one will leave you breathless. And surely it did. It left me breathless. It was so good. I wish the ending had a little bit more like oomph to it. You know, I was expecting a lot more from the ending, but it was still sweet. It was still nice. And you know, I'm glad, like, you know, there was a part where I was just like, okay, why couldn't you just say that before? You know, we would have gotten through this a lot quicker. But, you know, I felt like every scene was necessary for the ending, you know, and it's also about like finding yourself and learning to be okay, like being alone and all of that. It has everything. So I highly recommend her. Okay, the next book I picked up, as you've already seen, drum roll please, Beach Read. I finally got to read Beach Read. I was so excited. I was hesitant on getting her because she is a little thicky. She's pretty thick. But once I like dived into this book, oh my god, I was obsessed. I love this one a lot more than this one. This one is still good. I still want you guys to read this one. But this one, okay? This is probably my favorite ever. I don't even know what to say about this book. So much has happened. I don't know how much I've already said about Beach Read, but as you can see, I loved it a lot. Also went ham on the highlighting. So many good quotes and scenes and character development. Oh my god, like, it's about like this guy Gus and this girl, what's her name again? January, which is pretty weird, but I'm obsessed with Gus. He's like everything I want in a man. But when I read this book, it gave me the same feelings as Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter did, which is saying a lot because I know I've never filmed myself reading Better Than the Movies, but I was obsessed with that one. I'm gonna be rereading her soon because the second book to Better Than the Movies is coming out soon, so I'd like to reread her, and I'd probably take you guys along with me. But Beach Read gave me the exact same feelings as Better Than the Movies did. So like it's pretty up there for me. And she's a 5-star. We found a 5-star in this video. I never would have thought. I'm definitely going to be rereading this next summer. Now I understand the hype around this book. It is everything. It is everything. Like, I need you to go to your nearest bookstore and pick her up. Like, you won't regret it. Like, I had so much fun. There is spice. Not as much spice as this one, but there's still some spice scenes in it. So again, if you're not into that, this isn't the book for you. But even if it isn't, I'd give it a shot because it's so like romantic. I love everything about it. It's about this girl, January. She moves into her dad's beach house. Her dad recently passed away, so she was left the house. She's staying there, and little does she know, she's living right next to this guy that she hated all throughout college. They were like competitive writers in college, and now they're both book authors, but they write like two completely different genres. January writes like romance novels, and Gus writes like more like darker topics, like about cults and things like that. So two completely different kinds of people. Gus had a rough childhood, so he writes in ways to where he can understand what happened to him in his childhood. As for January, she writes so she can like look at the brighter side of things, you know, to give everyone a happy ending, you know, because she didn't exactly have a happy ending. So they're both two completely different people, and then they make a bet once they meet up that they try to like write each other's genres, which is pretty cool. And you know, over the span of this time, you know, during this bet, when they're trying to like write their next greatest American novel or love story, you know, they go on some interviews together, research, and you know, little dates, but not calling it dates. And you know, they start to fall in love with each other, and honestly, it's hard to ignore the inevitable. So eventually, you know, they may or may not get together. We don't know. I mean, I know because I finished the book, but if you want to know, you should pick up the book. But yeah, I know I'm not giving you much to go off of, but this one over this one for sure. This is a 5-star. I had so much fun. And then the ending was what I expected from this ending. This ending was everything. I'm so glad how Emily Henry wrapped it all up. It was my first Emily Henry book, and now I understand the hype around Emily Henry. I'd like to read one more Emily Henry book before the end of summer. I don't know which one I'm gonna read yet, so if you have any recommendations, let me know which one, you know, could come close to Beach Read, because honestly, I'm not convinced anything is gonna come close to Beach Read. I had so much fun. I was confused as to why it was called Beach Read, because they barely ever go to the beach. I think we only been to the beach like once or twice in this book, but the scenes were so short, so I'm kind of confused. But yeah, Gus tries to write like a love story, and well, kind of, and January tries to write, you know, something more like thrilling and, you know, dark, and you know, all those things. Okay, so correction, Gus writes literary fiction, and January writes like best-selling romance, that kind of thing. So complete two polar opposites. Gus is like more of the broody type, you know, dark past, you know, mysterious, you know, everything you want in a man. So I had a great time reading this. I'm definitely going to reread her. Again, gave me all the feelings that you could possibly feel. Sadness, happiness, anger, pain, despair, you know, like betrayal, all of it is in here. Obsessed. And it kind of also put me in the summery mood, not as much as this one did, but you know, it still did. It kept me interested. You know, I was eating while reading this book, and I never read while I eat. I'm usually putting on a show or something, but I could not put her down. I was reading her on the toilet. You know, I took her to the beach and I read her on the beach. Didn't get to film that, unfortunately, so you won't get to see me read this on the beach, but again, I want you guys to go pick this up. It is so worth it. And again, never judge a book by its cover. I feel like guys could also read this book and get really interested in it. So yeah, 5-star, 4 or 4.5 star. I've read 2 great summer books this summer so far. I don't know if I'll be reading any more, but if I do, you'll be sure to come along with me, and definitely anticipate me rereading Better Than the Movies, because that book was everything as well. And can't wait for book 2 of that. But yeah, if you made it this far into the vlog, please give it a thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. I like making these book videos because I like watching book videos, and you know, that's how I started getting into books and finding these books. And you know, maybe my videos could help you get into reading, or like inspire you to read, or pick up, say, beach read, which you should. But yeah, thanks for coming along on my reading journey. Sorry I've been sick, but I'm back and better as ever, and we're gonna be reading hopefully more summer books. If not, we'll probably get into the dark fantasy realm of things in the October, because that's a genre I haven't really explored yet. But yeah, thanks for coming along, and I'll catch you next time. Please feel free to subscribe and